Hey everybody, welcome back. So as many of you may be aware, we purchased a 2015 Citroen Berlingo to explore Europe in. Now, as a reminder, Julie and I, we're Americans. We do not have residency in a country. So how do we now have a vehicle? Stick around, we'll give you all the details. But first, let's say goodbye to our rental car that we've had for the last 90 days. So we're saying goodbye to our trusty Fiat 500L that we've taken on this voyage and turning into our happy Mex car rental man, and we're gonna miss it. It was a good car. It took us a lot of places, but every day has to come to an end. Okay guys, so I'm outside auto rent, just turned in the car. We had it for just over 90 days and it was just under 800 euros. I will tell you, go through these guys here at Auto Rent and Mex Car Rental. That was the franchise, and they took great care of us, and that Fiat handled like a champ, so no complaints for us. And again, check these guys out. If you're coming to Belgrade, you need a long-term car rental, these are the guys to see.
So you might ask, how can an American buy and register a car in Europe? Well, I'm going to tell you how. And after numerous hours of research, days of research, I determined that Bulgaria was our simplest way to do this. France is a possibility, the Netherlands is another possibility. There are a few additional ones as well, but Bulgaria stood out because the cost involved, the time involved, and the continuing registration process involved were so simple compared to other places. I learned through research that a corporation being formed would allow me a chance to get a car in Europe and register it. So it came down to needing to find an attorney to do this. I posted a question on an expat group in Bulgaria asking if there was a reputable attorney in the area or any part of Bulgaria in the country, and overwhelmingly I received responses of one person, and his name was Dimitar. So I contacted Dimitar and we got involved in communication. He let me know the process, and he also let me know the cost involved, the time involved, and the ongoing process year to year. He stood by these costs to the very end. After getting in touch with him, knowing that this was a possibility, I then started to do the research as to what was a car going to cost in Bulgaria. So I found a website, mobile.bg, and I started researching, and I found numerous options. It took months and months for us to determine which car was going to work for us. We had to consider European roads, parking spaces, cargo room, cost of servicing, cost of everything, because this is going to be a car we keep for a long time. After research, we decided that the Citroen Berlingo actually was a better option for us, but I had gone ahead and posted in another expat group where I could get one, a reputable car dealer. And again, an overwhelming response came in, and expats said, you need to import a car. We decided to import a car because we were informed by numerous people that here in Bulgaria, they often will bring in cars from other areas that have been wrecked, and they will essentially take different pieces and parts and put them together. So you might have an actual vehicle that has 3 or 4 different cars put together. And speaking of that, on the highway one day, Warren and I actually saw a Frankenstein vehicle. It was a Citroen Berlingo, and on the back it said Peugeot Berlingo. So we really quickly realized that what people were telling us was actually true, and our attorney said it as well. And we've seen where you'll have a chop shop, salvage yard, and then right next door will be a huge car lot for sale. The cars are all for sale there. And you actually see the pieces and parts hanging out on different things, and so you know that people are telling you the truth. So we decided that we didn't really want to take that chance. We're going to travel a lot. We are going to put a lot of miles or kilometers on this car, and it's important that we have something that's dependable. And we also wanted to make sure we weren't dealing with a vehicle that had been in some extreme accident. One expat in particular referred me to Cars Help, and Cars Help has actually turned out to be an outstanding company. I reached out to Georgie, and I could not believe within hours he got back with me, and he let me know his cost. He let me know everything I could expect from A to Z, and referred me to his website, which also had a tremendous amount of information. I completely familiarized myself with the process, and then I realized, okay, if I'm going to import a car, I need to figure out where am I finding this car. He suggested Germany. So then I went to mobile.de, where my choices were tremendous. I mean, I could get anything I wanted. So mobile.de ended up being a fantastic resource for us. We narrowed down to one model, which is what you have to do with Cars Help. If you were to go with Cars Help, you will submit 3 models, and 3 cars, and then Georgie will begin the work. We had to finish the corporation formation before we could begin anything, because we had to get our registration number with the country of Bulgaria. The invoice for the car must be in the name of the company. That is part of the process. So once Georgie received my 3 selections, he started the work. He took our first choice and he called them and he spoke with them. Then he took the second choice and the third choice and did the same. He found out the ins and outs of these vehicles and whether or not we should pursue them or not. It happened that the first one that we looked at and had decided we were interested in happened to be a good choice. So we then wired 130 euros to his inspector, and that person did a thorough inspection on our vehicle. We decided that everything seemed fine. Part of the contract with Georgie is that any discount that you receive, he receives 50%. Once we made a decision on the car, we had the offer in. We then received the contract, and it was an invoice made out to our company. And once we had the invoice in hand, we wired money to the seller. He was a known seller, so we knew we were okay. And part of Georgie's process is that he has to do his due diligence and know that you are not going to be taken, that this is actually a reputable car company. So we dealt with this guy, and it was very quick. He sent us the invoice. The money went out within about 24 to 36 hours. And then Georgie set up the transport of the car. The car actually got to us about 3.5 days later.
Okay, so this is going to be the Citroen Berlingo that hopefully you'll be seeing in videos to come, assuming it stays in good working order. It's got lots of storage space. There's Julie. We've got a really large trunk. We'll be transferring everything from the Fiat here that we've had for the last 90 days. And there's Georgie. Georgie, you don't need to run. Georgie's part of the group of Car Help that we bought this vehicle from. He imported this for us from Germany. And, you know, outside-wise, everything seems to look pretty good. So we'll be off to Veliko Tarnovo for the permanent plates. If you're new to our channel, Julie and I were traveling the world with our 2 dogs. So please subscribe, give this video a like, and we'll look forward to having you join us.
Once it arrived in Sofia from Nordhausen, Germany, we were then obligated to go to Sofia to pick up the car. What we had to do was accompany Georgie's colleague to what they call their CAT, K-A-T, which is their DMV in America. And this allowed us to receive our transit plate. These transit plates are good for 30 days. The transit plate allows you to move that car within Bulgaria to the location where you are going to permanently register it. We had to register it in Veliko, Tarnovo, because that's where we formed our corporation with our attorney. And so in addition to the registration, Georgie also set up the car insurance. The car insurance was 299 Bulgarian lev, which, guys, that is for a year, a full year. And in US dollars, that's approximately $186.
All right, Maureen, so how is our voyage in the Citroen Berlingo today?
It's actually a very smooth drive. It's really exceeded our expectations. The speed, the pickup on it's been really, really good. And you know, we don't have navigation in here, but check this out. Look at the phone. This is Julie's phone. We're using Waze, so you can use Waze, the app in Europe. And the cool thing about Waze is that it shows you the speed limit, so you can see how fast you're going and what the speed limit is. So I'm going to 93. I'm going to drop down to 90. That's kilometers an hour, by the way. And now I'm going the speed limit. And in Europe, sometimes it's confusing to know if you're going too fast or what the speed limit is. So this will tell you if you're going too fast, so you can slow down. And I actually have an audio thing on here too to let me know if I'm exceeding the speed limit. So Waze is a great app for Europe, and I didn't even know they had it here, but this is probably the best way to go. But everything is going really good in this new Citroen Berlingo.
And as a passenger, I can tell you guys, the suspension is fantastic. Really pleased. I am so excited with this car, and it has sliding doors, guys. So in these tight parking spaces in Europe, this is amazing. I am so thrilled with our purchase.
If you plan to travel Europe and follow in Julie and I's footsteps, when you get to Veliko, Tarnovo, just don't treat it like a business transaction. Get out and do some sightseeing. This town is beautiful, a lot of history. We did a video about Veliko, Tarnovo, as well as about the fortress and sorbets. So go back, check those videos out before you ever show up here, and really make this a mini trip vacation. It's worthwhile. It's a nice little city in Bulgaria, and you'll be sorry if you don't take advantage of the time that you have here. Now let's look at where we're staying. So here we are in this nice little square in Veliko, Tarnovo, not far from our Airbnb, which is just up this road to the left. And as you can see, there's ample parking in this area. There we are. So this is the street that we're on, and there's a little terrace right up here. There's Julie coming out. We're loading up today. And a nice quiet street here in Veliko, Tarnovo. Now when you come into the opening, you come into a little garage. Don't let that turn you off. We come into this nice little door right here on the right. And this place has got such great location. And I think that the owner must have stayed some time in here, because everything that you need is here. You have a nice, easy to use oven, stovetop, sink, dishes. So the bathroom's over here with the shower in here. There's a coffee maker, toaster, hot water pot, and a very important washer. And there's a refrigerator, microwave, and there's a dryer as well upstairs, which is almost unheard of. Comes with the glasses, the pots and pans, everything you need for a stay. Now, 2 single beds. So for a couple, this is good for maybe a couple nights. But for a brother, sister, mother, or somebody single, this is ideal. It's in such a great location. It's got a good sized wardrobe. You've got nice lighting. The internet is fantastic. So now let's go ahead and go up to the terrace. So you come back out here into the garage, and you have a little doorway right here. And as we come up the stairs, you're going to see there's the dryer. And you have this nice sunny terrace area that you can come up here and lounge in. Little garden, beautiful views. And if you look off there into the distance, you'll see the church at the top of the Sarvets Fortress.
So once we had the car in Veliko Tornovo, our attorney then took over the process. He sent his colleague with us to the CAT, again, the DMV.
Okay, so Julie's left in the line across the street, and Youngcha, who's working for our attorney, is going to get us in here so I can go pay the eco tax, and then hopefully we'll get the registration, will go smoothly, and then we got to do a car inspection, and I think that's the whole process, but we'll see.
And the process took approximately 3 hours from start to finish. We paid a total of 354 Bulgarian lev, which is $220, and that is actually the eco fee. We didn't have additional fees beyond that, and that is a one-time fee. So this attorney's assistant stayed with us all the way through this process. We even bought the vignetta. If you are not familiar with a vignetta, you need to familiarize yourself. You must have a vignetta in numerous countries, and basically it's a toll pass. If you are caught without one, it is going to cost you. The car that we own now is now registered in Bulgaria under our company. So it's not like we have to have an additional driver. Anyone that is in the company, which is Warren and I, is automatically on with the car and is insured. So the process wasn't extremely difficult. It was time consuming. Would I do it again? Overwhelmingly, yes. Having a car in the continent of Europe that we own and can register yearly for next to nothing is wonderful. We are now going to be obligated to get what they call their MOT, which is an inspection, every year, and it must be done in Bulgaria. So we will every single year in June have to return to Bulgaria. We are going to list every single solitary price we paid for you, so you can see the process was quick. The company formation is crucial. Without a company formation, you will not be able to buy and register a vehicle. You can buy a vehicle, absolutely. Registering it is a whole different ballgame. We chose our attorney because he has his own process. He was able to open up a bank account and take care of all of this stuff within about 24 to 36 hours. If you just go to someone that is not known and doesn't have this process known, it will take you somewhere between 2 and 4 working weeks. We were able to do this in such an unbelievable fast time. This process can be done remotely, but it requires apostille, which if you're not familiar with that, familiarize yourself. And it requires power of attorney along with apostille. So there's a lot of cost involved. There's a lot of mailing back and forth, especially from the United States to Bulgaria. And it makes the process harder. So we decided we were going to do things in person, and I'm glad we did. We got a chance to meet Dimitar. We are now the proud owners of a Citroen Berlingo, and guys, I can tell you, I love this car. It rides like a dream. I am so comfortable. I am very, very picky. This is a wonderful vehicle. It holds so much cargo. And in addition, the miles per gallon are impressive. we're seeing somewhere in the 40 miles per gallon, and we're impressed. We're impressed with the quality of the vehicle. We're impressed with the size of the vehicle. Parking it is not that difficult because it is not that much larger than a regular car. As a matter of fact, in some cases it's shorter. It's just taller. It has upwards of 3,000 liters of space if you fold the seats down. You don't have to remove them, just fold them down. And sliding doors make it so simple to get these little pups out. If you had children or additional adults, it would be fantastic. But I spreadsheeted approximately 20 models of cars. And it took months and months for me to determine what was going to work for this family. And it came down to the Citroen Berlingo, and I couldn't be happier. And from my understanding, servicing them is not expensive. So we're very excited about that. But honestly, the ride is fantastic. And if I had it to do over again tomorrow, it would be the Citroen Berlingo.
Okay, so we're getting the first oil change at Oil Box, Service Oil Box, here in Serbia in Novi Sad. Now this place was recommended to us by folks off of the expat groups in Novi Sad on Facebook. So there's our vehicle. So we'll take a look and see what does it cost to get an oil change, air filter change, and oil change here in Novi Sad. We had the mechanic check out the vehicle in Germany, and we do have the records on the vehicle, but I wanted to make sure before we head to Ukraine or to Poland that the vehicle is in top shape. So we did an oil change, air filter change, and oil filter change just to be on the safe side and make sure we're ready to go. Now let's go ahead and cover all of our costs in detail. We're going to use dollars so that we're able to be consistent. A lot of the costs were in dollars as well as in euro and Bulgarian dinar. So staying with the dollar will be the easiest way to total everything together. On top of the price of the car, we paid $630 to an attorney, $242 for car's help, $157 for the inspection in Germany, $25 for temporary registration, $220 for eco-tax, registration, taxes, etc., $85 for assistance at the CAT or the DMV, $186 for 1 year of car insurance, $744 to transport the vehicle to Bulgaria from Germany, $60 for a vignette, for a total of $2,349 for all the service to set up a corporation, ship a car, and get it to Bulgaria. Again, this does not include the actual cost of the vehicle. If you're setting up a company, it does not need to make money. There is no minimum tax, but you will probably need to use a address. So our attorney does have an address that can be used for a monthly fee of approximately 40 euros per month. As a reminder, leave a comment on a name that you think Julie and I should name our car. Right now, Pandora and the Abyss are the front runners, but we're still open. As officers of our company, Julie and I are able to now drive our vehicle wherever we would like to across the continent of Europe. Our insurance covers us throughout Europe as well. So this gives us new freedom. So I hope that some of you will be inspired to get out and explore, and that this answers some questions for many of you. As a reminder, Julie and I, we're traveling the world trying to see what it's like to live in different places and sharing the cost of living, the expenses, and we're also having adventures and doing the tourist stuff as well. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to give this video a like. And until next time, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.